Hi there, everyone. Welcome back. And in this section, we're just going to continue where we left off in the previous section, and that was where we went ahead and sent our first code review to Garrett for Tomato Trident. And this is a code review for the OC API-Slice project. And as you can see, the code review is there. We went through all of this in the previous section in our videos. So in here, and now what we're going to do now is uh, we're going to go ahead and show you guys how you can go ahead and send a second patch for this commit that you've done. And in order where you usually want to send a second or third patch to your initial commit is when there's a feedback provided to the commit that you've done. And so in this case, since I'm also a an admin, I would go ahead and just provide a feedback. Let's say I would say, please remove the above and save that. And then it comes down to giving a review. I would come here and give it a -1 uh, and publish my comments. So what usually happens is when you send code for review, sometimes, or hopefully not most of the times, but you'll have in cases that there will be some comments provided in the code that you've done, and you can see who's provided that comment, and um, you'd see a -1. So in order for you to be able to actually have your work merged into the master branch, uh, two things are required. Number one is to get a +2 from the senior code reviewer, uh, and the second item is that the Jenkins build that ran for your uh, code push um, comes back as verified. As you can see, this came back as verified, and there's a message down here as well that the Jenkins patch for set 1 is verified to +1, so your code was successful. It did not break the build. And let me just click on this, open this in a new tab. I'll show you that this is the build. This is our Jenkins and for Tomato Trident, and this is the build that actually went through for it. And here's the console output. And as you can see, it ran the tests and uh, all went well, and it was just a success overall. Code coverage met the target, everything was fine. So not only the build was a success, but the finish overall, along with the code coverage, everything was met. So came back as a success. This is, now that we are in Jenkins, let me show you our Jenkins instance. So this is Tomato Trident's Jenkins, and this is our continuous integration, our CI. And as you can see, we currently just have the OC API Slice project here, but we will have the other projects as well. So all of our other projects other than the docs will also be here as well, and they will have automatic builds every time there's a push for review. So in this case now, going back to Garrett, we still need to fix this, and so let's go ahead and fix this. Send a second patch to the same commit, and with doing that, we'll get to look at how Jenkins does the build, and then if it verifies it, then we'll go ahead and take a look at the code, see if the change is there, and if it is, then we'll go ahead and provide a +2. So let's go ahead and do that. So back into our demo OC API slice, I am on the README branch, and let's go ahead and modify based on the comment that we got. Is told that we should remove the double equal. Okay, and let's go ahead and save that. Now here, what's important is if I do a status get add, let's just add that in. Okay. So now we have that all ready. So now here's the thing now. In order for us to send a patch for this for this previous commit, we do a git commit amend. And by doing this, we're still pointing to the change ID, where if you look at the same change ID we have here is this change ID over here. If I copy that, and that's the change ID that we're amending a commit, which will go ahead and place it as a second patch. So let's go ahead and say perfect. And now if we do a Garrett push, all right. So here, if I refresh, we will see a second patch. That's our second patch. And we will go ahead and see that Jenkins has been doing a build. We got an email, perfect. Jenkins build has been triggered. And here's our late build that Garrett has sent over to Jenkins. Just click on it. Click on the console output. Usually I like to see that. And as you can see, it's checking out revision D27C816. So if I copy this and go back here and do a find there, you'll see that it's actually building our second patch, which is great. That's what we want. And so that's going on pretty well. Perfect. And as that's waiting for Jenkins to go well, we can come here and take a look at the code too. And as you can see, we now have it removed, which is what the previous comment, what the comment on the previous patch was referring to. So go back here. See that we have some code coverage settings, and we're using Emma in order to do our graphs for unit test code coverages. So all of that is in place. Usually code coverage is 100% classes, and then 70% methods should be met. So this way we're kind of focusing on everyone providing good unit tests. And if it doesn't match the code coverage rule, then even though the build is successful, overall it's unstable and it returns back a -1 for verification. So here we're going ahead and getting the test results. Everything went well. So far it's good, looking good. Alright, and in this case, while that's coming back, well, it's almost done. Let's wait for it. Alright, so the build is successful. Looking for code coverage reports. Perfect. Found one report file. Found the code coverage. That came back saying, well done. Here it says, Emma coverage, all coverage targets have been met. So it's success. Perfect. So now it's a success. We go back here, take a look at it now. We'll see Jenkins has verified it. Perfect. That's awesome. And let me just add this in, that if even I give a +2 and Jenkins comes back with a -1, we will still not be able to submit our patch and have it merged to master. So it kind of works as a checks and balances, as where both Jenkins has to verify and the code reviewer has to give you a +2. So here, if I review that code, If I give a +2 and publish my comment, there we go. We give it a code review +2. It's been verified. And what you would see as a on your side now is you would get the button of submit patch set too. Now in this case, whenever you come back, you'd see this button, and whenever you click on submit patch set 2, it would go ahead and submit and change the review status from review in progress to submitted. So let's go ahead and submit our second patch, and there we go. It has it submitted. Now, once you click that and it has submitted, we'll see that inside GitHub it has reflected. Trident. And if we go to API slice, and you see inside README, this has been submitted. And once this becomes merged, automatically on GitHub, you get to see the reflection. So once it's merged, it instantaneously updates on GitHub, and your work has been now contributed back onto GitHub. And if we look at the latest commit, you'll see that the change ID, our change ID, has gone through, and perfect. That's our change ID over there, and that's the comment that we had, changing content, and there we go. That is the change that came in. And even this D27C81 is this patch that actually came in. So if we go ahead and click on the code last commit, we'll see that the change ID, and from that change ID, this commit from that change ID came in. So we saw the change ID, and this is the commit that actually came in. Perfect. Awesome. So, and that's basically it. We just went ahead and continued and finished up on where we left off last time, and this just is it. And that's how you can get your code submitted and contribute back into Tomato Trident. Goes into Garrett, and you can track. You guys can go ahead and take a look at all the builds and the test result trends and the code coverage trends, and just see how the deployment continuous integration is working, what's the status, and what's the health on the project, how's it been doing on builds, and over here, gives you updates on how the builds has been going, who's provided what reviews, and at the end you get your status merged and your code submitted and merged into master. You'll get it up there inside GitHub. I hope you guys enjoyed. I also hope to see you guys come in, register, and contribute back as soon as you can. And please provide us any feedback you have. It was great creating these videos for you, and I hope we can get to do this more often. Thank you.